our set has been taken over by ants, and they're on my dog. Go away, ants. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Get out of here. I'll light this place on fire before you touch my dog. Welcome to another episode of Whine About It, but After Dark now.
Whine About It After Dark. Wait.
Whine About It After Dark. Call your dad. 1-800 sexy hot ladies in your neighborhood.
1-800 Super Sexy Boost, where we talk about only the deepest, darkest whine about it secrets.
After dark.
After dark.
Essentially, we're saying after dark because this is the first time we've ever tried recording Whine About It. Not on stream. We're not on stream right now. Weird.
Honestly, it's actually a lot. It's already kind of nice.
Yeah, it's actually super nice. No one's calling us boring or talking
really
about
scared.
the lighting or the mic issues.
I was really scared it would feel awkward. And like, because I hate filming offline, you know, with vlogging and stuff. I hate filming offline. But it's just kind of cozy. I feel like I could say some dumb shit.
I'm eating a popsicle right now and it's melting like a popsicle in July, straight up. Now I get the saying. I'm sorry, keep going. I'm melting.
God damn it.
Tell them what happened and why you're covered in ants.
Ludwig got us a pizza yesterday for the podcast. We left the pizza and there are ants all over it, and now there are ants all over this couch. So we're gonna be
cool, if you ask me.
We're gonna be fighting off some ants. We have some special guests tonight. We have Swift and Durs.
Both in the flesh.
Both in the flesh.
Durs is smelling your toes.
Yeah.
Like Nicholas Pollum.
The dream. Wait.
Yeah.
The dream for Nick, not me.
Yeah.
We should come up with a name for this, though. That'd be sick. Because we have Whine About It, Dine About It, and then we could have
Cry About It, and we actually just cry during the offline recording sessions.
Trauma dump, and we like choose what to actually keep and what not to.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Whine About It After Dark is kind of fun. We'll think about it. But, okay,
This is a work in progress.
I set a timer for an hour and a half because we're going to see. I think we want these to be an hour.
Yeah.
So then there'll be stuff to cut out and whatever. But we'll just like chit chat, whatever. And then we asked our Twitter, or the Whine About It Twitter.
You literally just explained what a podcast is. So we're going to chit chat for like an hour.
Not for an hour. No, we asked the Whine About It Twitter.
I know, but you should.
For an AMA.
That's what makes this episode different, is that we're answering questions.
I just said that.
Man, I am sad I don't have chat here to agree with me. You explained that bad.
You literally said that this is crazy. When we got in here, you were like, we'll talk about what we did today.
Yeah.
We'll talk, and then we'll go into the AMA.
Yeah.
And I just said...
You haven't talked about what we've done today. You just introduced the AMA.
I just said we're going to chit-chat for a little bit, and then we asked Twitter for an AMA.
A little excited. Sorry, guys. We're going to chit-chat first. I don't want to spoil what we're doing later.
We're, like, not on the same page at all. I'm so genuinely confused as to what the problem is right now. I'm so confused.
There's no problem. There's not a problem. You're doing great. You're good at podcasts. So what do we do today, Maya?
We're gonna talk about what we did today, and then do an
I'm
AMA.
asking you what you did today. I'm telling you.
Oh my god! Editor, start over.
No.
I'm kidding. Don't start over. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm honestly just stalling until I finish this popsicle.
Okay, we'll all talk about what we did today.
Great.
We woke up in the morning, and then I was supposed to go on a hike with Myth, but then it was too far away, and I only had sandals, so I didn't go. And then Cutie was supposed to go to the gym, but she's sick, so then she didn't go.
I'm sick, but it's not COVID.
It's not COVID.
I think. I've taken a lot of tests, and they're all negative.
Yeah, she's testing negative. And then we got dressed, then we went and we filmed Dine About It at In-N-Out. You'll see that vlog. It was pretty sick. Pretty good vlog. And then we went to the gas station, then we went to a photo shoot in downtown LA, in the fashion district.
Yeah. The building had no power.
There was no power in the building. it was this like big old building. We were on the 3rd floor and there was no power and it was really scary.
Yeah.
But we rented a studio space for the photo shoot, and so we went up there and we took some photos, a bunch of different outfits, a bunch of different sets. I took a photo hugging a tree in LA. We'll see how those come out.
They'll be good.
Maybe. Yeah.
We drove all the way back home, which in LA, 5 miles is 12 hours. So got in around midnight. We got food. I made a salad. I got some popsicles for my throat. I've been drinking tea, and we plopped down and watched some Netflix.
We accidentally binged a lot of Netflix.
Yeah. They tricked us. We binged so long that the thing popped up.
Are you still watching?
Yeah, that feels bad.
I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed because the show that we binge watched was How to Build a Sex Room.
If you haven't seen it, I encourage it.
It was so good.
Miss Melanie Rose is the designer. She's very talented, I've decided. Oh my god, the ants are everywhere.
I know. The concept of the show is, it's like Extreme Home Makeover, but they go and they build sex rooms for couples. So they go in there and they like talk about what the couple's into.
Oh, I think the ants are biting Swift. Are you okay?
I think they're just on him. Or he ate one.
He looks upset. Do you want to switch sides with me? It's on your nose. I'm sorry. Oh, I slapped your nose. I'm not trying to slap you. I'm trying to help you. Is it in your nosy? Oh, goodness. You should move. Come here.
Hey, buddy.
Let's stop them. Let's stop the ants. Go away, ants. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. It's falling apart. Our set has been taken over by ants, and they're on my dog. Not my dog. Not today, ants. You little bitches. Get out of here. I'll light this place on fire before you touch my dog. Are you okay, Swift? Are you okay? It's okay. Oh, my goodness. There's another one. I got him. Oh, I got him. I got that one, too. Are you good? This is the ant killing segment. Would you like to switch seats with me? I want to make sure you're comfortable. What do you think? Do you want to swap? Because you're a little close to the ants right now, and I'll take the bullet. You, my child, my love, come right here. I'll kill these ants for touching you and tickling your nosy. Okay, we're good. Switch with the dog. Yeah. So we watched.
So anyway. Oh my god. So anyway.
He's good though. He's happy now. So
they go make sex rooms for couples. They talk about what the couples are into, and there were some crazy episodes. There was some crazy stuff in there, and it is so funny and it's so interesting.
Dude, there was this couple. They were trying to get there. You could tell like they're very vanilla, and it's fine. It's like this married couple. The wife was like a jazz singer, and the husband, I don't remember what he does, but she, the Miss Rose, the designer, takes them to like this sound booth where they have to wear blindfolds and dirty talk to each other. And Miss Rose would feed them lines, and then so the line she told, I think his name was Austin or something.
It wasn't.
Roy? I don't know.
Ryan.
The line she fed to Ryan was like, to say to the wife was, I like putting my bleep in your mouth. And he starts saying it. He's like, I like, and he's like, I don't say those words. And she's like, okay, say it in your own words. And so then he's like, oh, I like when you go down on me. And then she's like, then Miss Rose was like hyping him. She's like his hype man. She's like, woo woo. She's like, do some more. And he's like, she's like, tell her what you want to do to her. And he's like, well, first I'm going to undress you, and then I'm going to feed you fruits. I was like, that took an unexpected turn.
That's really nice. I think that's really sweet.
No one has ever said that to me during dirty talk.
No one has ever fed me fruit.
No one has ever done that or said it.
What the
I just want to
heck?
feed you fruits. Yeah.
It was really funny.
It was really funny.
It wasn't a couple. It's a polyamorous family of 7. And
complicated though, because the two, male, female,
were married,
were monogamous, broke up, and now they have poly family. Mm-hmm. And they said 7 the whole time, but when you count, there was only 6.
6. What happened to the 7th?
I'm wondering about it. I would really like to know.
I don't know, but they're crazy. They like to pee on each other, all of them.
Oh, yeah,
They all like to pee on one of the girls.
The one girl even said to Miss Molly, because Miss Molly's great, she covers all of her bases. She said, she like goes to him and she's like, "What's your kinks? What's your kinks? What's and kind of gets a lowdown from each of them." And the one girl she's wild. She was like, "Oh yeah, I want a golden shower, also bukkake," and like just like so casual. And Miss Molly's like, "Okay."
So they had to build him a giant shower room with a drain in the middle so she could like lie there
and then get cleaned up.
Right.
Which is very
She was just like, I it's a fantasy for me to get peed on by all my people.
Yeah, she called them her people. It was crazy. I mean,
man.
I get it, but there was also like a few of the episodes where the people who hired Miss Molly, or I always say Molly because
I don't know why
it's Melanie Rose, and in my mind it goes to Molly, Miss Rose, and they have kids, and it's like fine that you have kids and you want to have sex, but just imagine being 7 years old and stumbling into a sex dungeon.
Yeah.
Like the one literally had like drawings of naked women all over the wallpaper, and it was hidden behind a faux cabinet.
And like an inversion table.
That 7-year-old is finding that and thinking he found a spy layer and not telling you he found that until he gets like some sticky icky on his hands. That's what I would do if I was 7 and I walk in there. I'm like, this is crazy. I would try. I wouldn't know what any of the things are. I didn't know what a dildo was. You know what? I found out what a dildo was when I was in 6th grade, and my friend Diana, like this kid named Oscar came up and punched her, and she's like, "Oscar, you're being such a dildo." That's what she called him, and I was like, "Diana, what's a dildo?" And she's like, "It's a plastic thing our moms use because it's like a penis." And I was like, "That makes no sense. Why would a mom use a plastic penis?"
I don't remember when I found out what a dildo was. I do know that I got my first dildo at Hot Topic.
How old were you? Uh-oh alert.
16.
Phew, that is too young for a dildo.
I think my boyfriend was 18 and he bought it. Because I don't think you can buy them at 16.
Wow. I don't know. That is weird that you can't buy you can't buy a dildo at 16. Oh no, but you can buy cigarettes in some places.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was a 7-year-old, I find this faux cabinet, I push it open, there's freaking naked ladies on the wall, there's all these like chains and ropes and stuff like that. I think it's a playground of sort. I start playing on stuff. I slip on the lube and I die.
Oh my god.
Then my parents go in there. Yeah. That is why
I would feel so
the
bad.
Mormon in me coming out. This is why you shouldn't have a sex room.
That's why you shouldn't have sex.
That's why you shouldn't have sex.
What happens when you have sex? That and your dick falls off.
Yeah, and then ants get in your podcast room and tickle your dog's nose and you kill them all.
Ants.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry they tickled your nosy little cute dog.
Okay.
He's so sweet. I love him.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think that was it. Oh, besides the couple that they're married and they don't have sex anymore, and so they got a sex room, and Maya's like, it's gonna save their marriage.
I was really happy for them. I was really excited for them because it just I felt so bad, and like they don't have sex anymore, but it seems like they really like each other. I was being such a parasocial cringe frog. So
she was sitting there like,
I'm
this
being
is so
parasocial
sweet
right now, but I was like, I really think this is gonna help their marriage. I'm just really happy for them, and Cutie doesn't think that it's going to, and I want to know where they're at.
The craziest thing before we started all of this is I sat down because my groceries were on the way. Maya was eating, and Maya owes me a Miss Americana watch, and so I'm looking at Netflix, and I'm like, I want to do something shorter. I don't want to do an hour and a half of Miss Americana, and instead the 45-minute episode of like designing sex rooms.
I think we watched 4.
So
we watched 4 episodes.
3 hours, double that time. Very cool of us.
Very cool of us.
I've deserved though. I feel like we work hard.
I did tell her at the end. I was like, this is the first LA trip that we've hung out. This is the first time I've come to LA and we've like hung out together. We literally
that is crazy. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, we don't hang out. We're working.
Aww, if I lived in Texas, I feel like we do that all the time.
That is true.
That's sad because I actually need that so bad, but it's fine. I have therapy.
Me too. We both got therapy.
We both have therapy tomorrow. My day's all messed up tomorrow because I didn't know. I did know. Maya told me so many times.
Yeah, she's dumb.
I've been a little overwhelmed lately. But yeah, so my day is just meetings all day tomorrow. Swift gets a shot tomorrow. Don't tell him. He doesn't know. He can't hear me.
You hear that?
He's unfazed. He has to get a shot tomorrow, and Coots has to get a shot tomorrow. Durs, clean slate for Durs. Doesn't need anything. Perfect cat. And yeah, that's my day. At some point, I need to go live. I have not been streaming. It's stressful.
We could have made that happen today. It
We
would have sucked. But
no, I feel so fine about it. I mean, we could make it happen early tomorrow, but I don't want to do that either. I don't like stressful going lives. I like planned, thought out going lives.
Fair enough.
So yeah, anyway. That's our days. We are going to jump into Twitter.
Yeah, wait, let's...
You have an ant on your shoulder.
Hello. Cutie, ready? Catch it?
That's so messed up that you just... It landed on my dog. How do you feel? There's also like leaves on him and stuff. He's just a collector. Wait, what were you gonna say?
Wait, let's like quickly go over the plan for the channel.
Oh,
our video plan.
This is our video plans. We're gonna release one original song each month.
What? No, we're not.
Oh, okay. Well, there goes that idea.
We're gonna release one video a week. We're gonna release one video a week. We're gonna go live once a month, second Sunday of every month for Wine About It on my Twitch channel. So it'll be like 2 hours or something of us doing like normal Wine About It. Then we'll record another Wine About It, an hour, 2 more hours offline. That'll also go on this channel. Then we'll do this, probably a Twitter segment or some kind of Q&A segment or something.
Yeah, some kind of like Reddit review or something like that.
Yeah, something, just an extra episode, again on the YouTube channel, and then we're going to do a guest video once a month as well.
Yeah, we're pumping out content. Look at us. We're a real podcast soon.
Yeah.
Not yet, but soon.
Soon. And then we do a guest, so we do the guest episode once a month, put that on the channel, and then we have Omegle and we have Dine About It, and those will go on this channel for now until we restructure later.
Yeah, potentially this is a free sample of those potentially, because they might end up behind a paywall. So we get you hooked like cigarettes, and then we put a paywall in front of it like meth, and then you have to do it because cigarettes were the gateway drug. You guys get it, right?
Seems pretty ethical.
They understand. We'll get there though. But yeah, I'm excited to do this because then we're gonna have more content. We're gonna get famous, and then finally, TommyInnit will come on the podcast. That's the end goal.
To get famous.
That's the end goal. Is TommyInnit right sitting where Swift is? Dude, honestly though, I watched TommyInnit's Lover Host. Did you catch it at all?
Not at all.
I didn't watch it because I was driving down to Vegas. I pulled it up to listen to it. Woo-wee, was I not ready for Tommy to be talked to like an adult?
Oh.
Because Tommy's 18.
Yeah.
And there was a girl on there that was like, Tommy just needs to get his dick sucked, and and I was like, that is a little boy. Do not say that.
Yeah,
like that
weird.
is Tommy. Like Tommy can't. It's like oh, but it's like it's just
Whoa.
it's crazy because it makes me feel like I'm getting old when I hear that said to an 18-year-old. Like oh, I was sucking dick when I was 18. You know what I'm saying? Like Tommy's probably had his dick sucked, but it's weird when these girls were like sexualizing this little boy, but he's not a little boy anymore, and it's.
I get you.
I feel old. I feel old, and it was a very successful show. It was good for Austin. He got like 90K viewers.
Yeah, he's famous.
And that's why we're going to get Tommy on the Wine About It.
Yay.
End goal, manifesting. Yeah. We're going to check out the Wine About It Twitter.
Okay, here we go.
Now, Wine About
Here
It.
the segment starts. Wine About It After Dark.
Wine About It.
I think Wine About It After Dark should be the second Wine About It episode, and this one should have a separate name.
Okay, well. Wine About It Q&A. Wine About It AMA. Wine About It not whining about it. What do you think about that one? Just put in like it's like wearing a mustache. People don't know that it's you anymore, like a disguise.
Oh god.
This
we'll
is
talk
not
about
Wine About It.
It'll have a name.
Okay,
later.
she has an attitude
This
tonight.
is a soft launch.
Welcome
to the soft launch. Wine About It soft edition.
soft edition. You
Wine About
guys
It flaccid.
Ew. Dude. Never mind. Actually, I'll say it. Have you ever like been having sex and the dick isn't hard enough and it feels like you have to like It's like you're just trying to shove it up there because
Yeah.
you know once it goes up there it'll get hard, and so
Yeah.
until then it's like dealing with a water balloon. And you're like, get on up
water
there.
balloon is a good comparison.
Yeah, that's always fun.
You know, I used to be afraid of balloons.
Why?
I was anticipating being scared of the popping noise.
Oof.
But it was even water balloons. It got to the point where my 8th grade boyfriend chased me around with an empty water balloon, like nothing in it, and I cried.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about tickling. I hate when people tickle me. I'll cry. I don't think it's fun. I don't get it. Why do you laugh when you get tickled?
My brother used to tickle me until I cried, but it hurt really bad.
Tickling hurts.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Can we? I think they could use tickling instead of waterboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tickling's
Why
not
did they
fun.
try that? That's so much cheaper than we're in a drought. Who waterboards the most? Do they have tons of water? Is it like whatever? Oh my god, do they use dirty water?
I don't know. I don't think this is...
Maybe that's not a concern.
I feel like this is more problematic than you think.
Really?
Waterboarding is it's pretty bad.
I mean, so would tickle torture be. They both would be bad.
Yeah,
We're
it's just
talking
one
about
got, like, a
torture right
history
now.
and one is like tickle. One is really dark. Like,
We'll move on to the
history.
questions. Here we go.
Alright, there we go.
From Nico Lena on the Twitter.
Twitter.
She said, oh wait, her name is Nicolina, but her at is Nicolate.
Okay.
I'll go with the ats in case someone wants to compliment their question later in the future.
Right.
They said, you guys are so amazing.
Thank you.
And that's it. Let's move
Whoa,
on. I'm
you didn't have to
kidding.
say that.
You guys are so amazing. How did you become such close friends? I want to hear Maya's perspective on this. How did we become friends as I sip my tea?
The first time I met Cutie was awful. I went to
Wow.
a house party that she was hosting, and she was so pissed. And I walked in. It was my first time meeting her. I was excited because we knew who each other were through online. But she was just in a really bad mood because she was mad about the party.
Always in a bad mood.
And so we didn't shake hands, hug, whatever. It wasn't
We hugged.
okay. It was like a, oh hi, how's it going, whatever. And I
Yeah.
it was a terrible first impression.
Whoa.
It was bad. I was like, oh, she is scary and mean.
Mm.
That was the first time we met. We didn't really talk much. We started talking more when we developed Housewives, because Cutie messaged me with that idea, and then Cutie and I ended up kind of wrangling it together, because it was a podcast with 5 girls total, and so Cutie and I kind of found ourselves coordinating, which is like a lot of our friendship is built off of like me and Cutie like pulling together, you know. So that's
weird how
kind
it
of
works.
that's where it started, and then that podcast died, and then I went through a pretty gnarly breakup and public breakup, and would call Cutie.
Wow, how great is this without chat right now?
Crazy.
You just said public breakup and wasn't spamming people's names.
Yeah, crazy.
That was actually nice.
But yeah, I went through a pretty gnarly public breakup, and before the breakup happened, I was calling Cutie a lot, asking her what she thought about it, because we were deciding about breaking up, whatever. And then I called her.
I'd like to clarify. I feel like drama frogs would be like, Cutie told Maya to break up. Like, Cutie caused the breakup or whatever. That was not the situation. Miz would call me, Maya would call me. I was friends with both of them, so both of them were calling me, and it was good.
I would just ask her a lot about what was going on, and I just needed someone to talk to. So we became really close through that experience, and then after the breakup, we talked a lot about me dealing with the aftermath of the breakup. And then we decided that we wanted to have a successful female-run podcast on Twitch.
And we couldn't call it Housewives anymore because somebody got dumped.
Anymore. And right, yeah, it's my bad.
You idiot.
Sorry. And so we made wine about it. And it's and then Streamer Awards, and then I don't know. It's just been from there.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I get a weird thing about myself. I don't know if you're the same way. I'm pretty bad at if somebody is not, and this makes me a shitty person, I know this. If someone is not actively orbiting me, like in my atmosphere, then I am bad at maintaining friendships. So I think part of why we're friends is because we work so well together too.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because I have other friends. I have like Milena, I have Adept. I would call them both friends, but I don't call them as often as I call Maya, because it's like, if I have a story that just happened to me, I'm going to call Maya because she knows all the context behind it 'cause she's heard everything else and blah, 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 blah. Compared to I'm not going to go out of my way to call Melena or, you know, whatever. And it's a bad habit because I think I overthink this sometimes, but I don't really understand how friendships work. I have 2 friends from high school that I don't need to call them. I don't need to check in on them. They're my best friends forever, and they could call me a drop of the dime. I have a place for them to stay and vice versa. I just know that. But I don't like often check in on friends otherwise than that, and usually my friendships like slowly fizzle and die out. Is that just me or?
The friendships in my life that happens to, I let fizzle out.
Oh, really?
Also, I'm worried your mic is peaking.
Am I peaking?
See how you're going in the yellow and I'm not?
Yeah, it looks like I'm a little more sensitive. I can move it back.
Yeah, just move it back.
I'll just move it back.
Fine. So, yeah, the friends in my life that fizzle out like that, I kind of let. It's really important to me to have friends where, like, I can drop off into an abyss, you know, of, like, adult responsibilities for, like, 6 months and then hit them up and it's like nothing happened. Mm-hmm. It's just, like, it's kind of shitty because I wish I was better about checking in, but there are too many people in my life that I'm taking care of, and including myself, and I just, like, can't have high maintenance friends at this point in my life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, Cutie and I, there are weeks at a time where Cutie and I will talk every day for, like, hours a day, even if we're not talking on the phone. It'll just be, like, a call while we're doing stuff in our house, and then we'll go, like, a week without talking.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there's probably even been times we've gone, like, 3 weeks without talking.
Yeah.
Just because we both just get busy.
Right. But
yeah,
not all friends are like that.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
not
have
all
some
friends
that
are like
not
that.
cool with that.
Like, so I had this friend named, give me a fake name and free my soul. Sarah. All my friends are clearly named Sarah. I had a friend named Sarah, which is actually crazy because one of the girls I hate the most, her name was Sarah. But
why would you say that?
Well, anyway, my best friend Sarah, she was actually, so I told the story before about, like, my best friend when my mom died got on a plane. Remember that? Like, I was in the hospital. I called my best friend that I've had for 13 years. I'm like, Mom's dying. And she's like, oh, sorry, I got to go. I got to catch a plane, and flew out of town. And so I didn't have any friends there for me for the funeral. But my boyfriend at the time called my best friend Sarah, who had recently moved to a different state. And him and his family flew her in. Because at this time, this is when I was barely transitioning out of like being really broke. I was really broke at one point because I decided to work as a pastry chef. So I was making minimum wage and it just wasn't enough and the hours weren't enough and it was crazy. And so I was really, really broke. And so it was really nice of his family to pay for that fly her out. She went to my mom's funeral with me. She was at the viewing. She actually, even when they say, like, everyone besides the family leave the room, which is something in Mormon funerals. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know. But Mormon funerals, which my mom's was, they say everybody besides the family leave the room, but she stayed in the room. That's how, that's how close she was.
Yeah.
She was there when I, like, met that boyfriend. She was there through a lot of stuff. We actually became best friends because her boyfriend, years prior, cheated on her with me, even though I didn't know he was with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so, like, long story short, we kind of John Tucker must died him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we became, like, best friends, and then she had to move and blah, blah, blah. And so we were really close then, and then it just kind of, like, fizzled out.
Yeah. And
I went to her state one time, like, probably 2 years after she moved. I, like, texted her. I was like, hey, let's hang out, like, blah, blah, blah. And she, like, was super vague and, like, we didn't set anything up. And I was like, okay, that's kind of lame. And then she'd come back in town for Christmas and she just, like, wouldn't tell me all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. And I remember even saying to her, I was like, did I do something? Like, what's going on? And she's like, no, it was just when I come in town, I'm so busy and blah, blah, blah. Which, like, I know her lifestyle is the same way where it's just, like, I would always go to her family things, too. And so it's, like, I would just even, like, I know you're just with your family and stuff. So it's just weird that, like, I stopped getting invited, but
I think there are just some people that need that maintenance and some people that don't. There are people in my life I have not talked to for years and I could call them now and I think it would be the exact same.
Yeah, I have 2 of those. My two guy best friends from high school. I could call them right now if I wanted.
Also, we're doing a terrible job, by the way.
No, we're not.
I mean, this story was fine, but we've answered one question.
I know, but that's like the point. The questions are more like, this is still a
Prompts?
podcast. Yeah.
Oh.
It's still a podcast.
Okay, well,
Okay.
there's the first question.
Well, no, she made me feel bad. She hates my answer and tangent.
She's being a little dramatic right now. I was just...
Anyway, Maya is low maintenance.
Yeah.
But she sure does complain a lot, doesn't she, everybody?
I'm a huge bitch. Ain't that right, Swift?
How did you become such close friends? Yeah, I think you just trauma bond.
Yeah.
Is what happens. Would you guys... Oh, a question brought to us by Amanda is AFK. Would you guys ever do a Wine About It IRL with a live studio audience? I want to hear your answer, and then I'll tell you my answer.
I genuinely think it'd be so fun, but it'd be a security nightmare, and I think I'd be too scared.
Yeah.
To,
I have the same
background
answer.
check everybody.
Yeah.
And, not be scared while being on stage of getting shot on stage.
Yeah.
I'd just be really scared up there, which sucks because the concept, I think I would love it. I think it'd be so fun.
Uh-huh.
And I think it'd be so fun to meet a bunch of viewers and, hang out.
I think, number one, I think we would need to be a bigger podcast.
Yeah.
We'd need to grow significantly before I would even think of that, because that's, embarrassing if we do that and, 2 people show up.
Okay, more than 2 people would show up.
But it's like a 4-hour ordeal, and we're doing it live with an audience, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Do people want to watch that live? Do they want to sit still for 4 hours?
I think
You
people
think
would
so?
like
I guess
it.
it's like a concert.
I think it'd be funny, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to it, but if we ever did do it, it would be similar to my Christmas concert, where every single person who came to my Christmas concert got a background check.
Right.
They submitted their driver's license. They had their chat logs checked. If they were ever banned or timed out, they did not come to the Christmas concert.
Yeah.
They also weren't allowed to bring in, I had security, no metal, no purses, no backpacks. It'd be pretty intense, and so it would never be more than 100 people ever. And even 100, I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah, do you think if we did it IRL, people would laugh out loud at our jokes? Mm-hmm. What? You're confident?
Yeah.
Wow. Would we sell tickets for money?
Yeah.
Would we use the money from the tickets on hookers and weed?
Not weed.
Oh, really?
Fentanyl.
Okay. Great. Oh, some of these are this one's sweet. What quality, brought to us by Lauren Smith G, sorry. What quality of each other do you think you guys wait. Uh-oh. Lauren Smith G wrote this while she drank too much wine. Hey, I'm doing my best.
Questions.
You get to read them next month. What quality of each other do you think helps you guys be such good friends and podcast pals? Quality.
Our brain works the same.
It does actually work the same. We're both overthinkers.
Yeah.
I think Maya has OCD even though she's not diagnosed.
I was diagnosed, I had the psychiatrist tell me that I had obsessive compulsive tendencies.
Oh, tendencies. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think overthinking is a big thing. Also, overthinking, overachieving. We both seem to have the issue, and we both have a lot of our self-worth tied into our work ethic, which is a bittersweet thing to have.
Right.
But yeah, I would say that.
I think the other thing was, okay, so when I say our brain works the same, we overthink everything, but also we have the same need for attachment and connection, in friendships and relationships. And then we both overthink a ton.
Remember that? Remember that line from that Taylor Swift song I said last night?
No.
Oh my god! I teach you one important philosophy, and you forgot it. A friend to all is a friend to none.
That has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is.
No, it doesn't.
She's angry tonight.
That has nothing to do with
it
what
does, because you just said we desire the same connection, and other people aren't like that. The podcast is over. We broke up.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Whatever. I'm never bringing Taylor Swift up again. I hate you.
Where I'm trying to go with this is we can have conversations about things that are bothering us, and talk in circles for hours and hours and just overthink all of it. But also our really good about being there for each other because we know that we need the same thing. You know what I mean?
No.
Really?
No, I agree with you. I'm just being sassy.
Oh.
Because you don't understand me or Taylor Swift. I'm sick of it. We both just took a drink from our tea. That's why I went quiet.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Sorry, audio listeners. Swift is itching his nose again. Is it an ant boy? Do you see any ants?
No.
Are you okay?
He's fine.
I love you. He's the best. Oh.
Ew.
Stop.
Yeah, I think we're just we're just two, loyal, dependable bitches.
Yeah.
That have the same brain. So.
Yeah. Now, a good question from Flying Blue Shell. What's the highest number of fourth graders you could beat in a fight? I don't think I could take more than 10, if I'm being honest.
10 is a lot.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'd fuck up all 10 of them, though. Fourth grade. I know, but I'm taller than you. They'd have to do some climbing.
If they're all going at the same time, I could not take 3.
Really?
Yes. 4. You got 3 kids on you trying to kick your ass.
I don't know how to fight.
Neither do I.
I know, but I pick one up, grab him by the legs, and I do helicopter. I knock all the other ones down with his body. I just won, and then I dropped the one I was flinging around as the helicopter. I beat him
I
all.
think you thinking that you could take 10 fourth graders is absurd.
Really?
If they're all coming at you at the same time, you run out of hand. You get if they all come at you at the same time, you're on the ground, you lose control.
I just don't fall on the ground, and I hurry and grab one by its ankles.
Okay.
Just don't fall. They're running up. I crouch, grab one by the ankles, stand up, immediately helicopter him around the room, knock all the other ones down, drop him, walk away, room explodes. Fuck those fourth graders.
All right. I think I could take 4 max, but honestly, I think
Do I
would
get to choose?
struggle
Do I
with
get to
3.
choose their weight
No, you don't
and
get to choose their weight.
sex and ethnicity?
No.
Really?
No.
Damn it! I was hoping to get like some freaking pampered kids from New York. I could take those bitches.
Rich Campbell is a 4th grader.
Yeah, I want to take Rich Campbell as a 4th grader.
Rip his little baby ass mustache off.
Yes.
4th grade face.
Yeah, the helicopter's mustache around the room. That's what I'll do. What's your favorite form of self-care? Just an easy question by Weird Sunday. What is self-care? Wow.
Probably cooking because it's productive.
That's crazy.
Like I think it's relaxing to cook, and it's productive in that like I save myself time later.
I don't see cooking as self-care, but I guess it is a good like slow down.
But that's not really true self-care if I'm thinking of like what's like
Yeah,
productive,
you're talking
whatever.
about like feeding yourself.
Right. I like taking baths.
That was my answer actually. I was gonna say baths.
I sit on TikTok in the bathtub. It's nice.
Dude, I don't take enough baths.
I take a lot of baths.
I should take a bath. Honestly, I'm gonna walk out of here. I'm gonna go take a bath. I won't. Realistically, that's not what's gonna happen. Both of you stream to help support other aspects of your life where you find true fulfillments. Cutie events and Maya Alveus. What do you hope to incorporate more into your streams this year to help people see more of your passions? Whoa. Yay. That's a loaded question.
I would like for the core of my channel to be Alveus content. I would like for 70% of my content to be conservation related. That being said, Alveus is only as big as I am as a creator, and I grow the most from the cringe stuff. I grow the most.
Yeah, you grow the most from watching TikToks.
From watching TikToks, from desktops, from React streams, from Wine About It's not cringe, but it's not conservation.
Whoa, rude.
You know, I grow most from things outside of the conservation, and then I get people to listen, you know, for Alveus. So I understand those things, and the deeper I get into my career, the more I want to balance those out more towards Alveus, because obviously that's the only reason I'm on the platform. So Yeah, I'm slowly working it in, but it's doing better. People are starting to like it, but they wouldn't watch it if it's all I did.
Yeah, that makes sense. Some people have asked me if I would want to change to like what Austin does and only stream events,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't, because I started streaming. If I wanted to just do events, guys, I'd quit my job and I'd be an event planner. That was like, I'd quit streaming. I'd just be an event planner.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about the streaming community that I like because I think it's unique to them. This isn't a corporate party. This isn't a wedding. This is something that's unique to watch and be a part of. And it kind of, I feel like it helps the Twitch community as a whole, which sounds like a little more intense than it actually is. But the reason I do it is because genuinely I would like to have more friends, and usually the way I meet people is through my work, and it takes a while to go from, someone who collabed once or twice to a friend, because Maya and I knew of each other for years before we actually became friends, and that's how it is. And so I think each of these events I've seen friendships blossom, like freaking Sweet Anita and Daily Dose were just hanging out in London, and they met at the Streamer Awards. It's like, that's really cool. Like, the amount of people that have been able to create like real friendships from this is good, because every single Twitch streamer I know is lonely as hell, like myself included. So that's part of why I'm interested in doing it on Twitch. But I started streaming because I just wanted to play League of Legends. I wanted to play League of Legends, and I just wanted to have people to talk to while I did it. And I still want to do that. I think it's really fun. It's my favorite game in the world. And if I could play League for 5 hours a night on stream and get views, I would. But I can't. And so the variety of it all, the variety of this job is what keeps me interested overall. So I guess the question is, how am I going to add more of my passion into it? I think I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I don't know. I have a good mix. I don't think mine isn't as foundational and game changing as like saving the world like Maya, but
the other thing, and this is kind of a harder thing to explain and is teetering the line with like the parasocial stuff, right? But people become more invested in what you're passionate about because you stream,
Yeah.
And it's the same with me. Like, people fell in love with conservation via Steve Irwin because they felt like they knew who he was as a person,
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
They knew how passionate he was and how much he cared, and they were like, yeah, like, I'm in there with you. But it's, it's the difference between learning from, if you have a friend that's really excited about something and they're like telling you about it, you're going to be excited about it, as opposed to reading it on a billboard somewhere,
That's really fair.
That like connection, which I know this is a slippery slope, like, you have to feel like you can relate to that person to care.
I didn't flick it at you. I'm sorry. I flicked it right there.
You have to feel like you relate to that person to listen to them, and to care about it, to care about what they're passionate about. So.
I taught my whole chat the other night about a Polly Pocket set that came out in 1998 from The Wizard of Oz. And they loved it because I was so passionate about it. Yeah, we were watching toy reviews on it. I was like, I found like some on eBay. I was like, I used to have this, and Dorothy, and da-da-da-da. Anyway,
that was the year I was born.
That's crazy, because I was playing with that Polly Pocket set.
Wow.
And it was my favorite Polly Pocket set.
I had no fine motor skills when she was playing with that Polly Pocket set.
Yeah, and those Polly Pocket sets, they were the dangerous kind, because they're the ones that the toys were the size of like your thumbnail. They weren't like the big dolls.
Yeah.
They were tiny baby ones.
Polly Pocket.
The real ones.
The real ones.
Yeah, people are like, oh, I played with Polly Pockets. I'm like, what kind? And they always say the big dolls. And I'm like, that's not it. Yeah, I'll gatekeep Polly Pockets. I have no shame in that. Those were my babies. And I lost Piglet, and I think about it still. I had the Winnie the Pooh Polly Pocket set, and I lost Piglet.
You.
I don't know where he is. He's out there somewhere. I lost him. I think about it all the time. Anyway, this is a good question that follows up is, how do you feel about stan culture and fan accounts?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really been involved in it.
Is there a good answer to that? Like, no one wants obsessive fans. Nobody does. Literally nobody.
It is a bizarre...
I don't know what obsessive fans think when they become obsessed and they're like, oh, I'm such a big fan. Rawr! Like, no one wants that. Literally nobody. Like, every Minecrafter that I talk to that has a lot of stans, they're like, I wish I didn't.
Right.
Like, they appreciate their audience. Yes, they love having an audience. They love having a community. But the word stan is very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants fans like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's unhealthy, for sure.
It's really unhealthy. It's interesting in this world because I think of, like, fan clubs when I was younger. Like, you know, there was an NSYNC fan club.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd send you a little poster each month. It was very cool. It was, like, honestly, Patreon back then, you know? But I didn't know what Justin Timberlake, you know, I couldn't tweet at him on Twitter. He couldn't see my...
I think that's the difference.
My profile pic. Like,
I think it's one thing, and I wouldn't even really consider it unhealthy, to be like a huge fan of something like Harry Potter.
Yeah, you can be a big fan.
Something that you like can't touch. You're just like, I love that, whatever. But when it's about a person who's like a real living human, and you get super invested in the decisions that they make and the things that they say, you know, and you have a bridge to that person somehow, and they can see what you think about what they, like, it's very different. I think it's pretty damaging to the person, but it's different if it's an entity or if it's something that isn't affected by.
You're like, I love Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is gonna be like
compared to like
Lord of the Rings is still gonna do exactly
Bloom.
Right.
Yeah.
Still gonna do exactly what that entity is already scripted to do, is already going to do.
Yeah.
But as a person, especially as a kid, these Minecrafters that are super young, that see all these people and read them as people having opinions that just like they think they just want the best for them, and then, you know, the next thing you know, they're apologizing for calling someone stupid.
Speaking of TommyInnit's lover host,
which, okay, if you call someone stupid, maybe you should apologize. You know what I mean? Like they you know, that's tough.
TommyInnit's lover host obviously was watched by a lot of Minecraft consumers, and that fan base is very particular. There's lots of virtue signaling. There's lots of you cannot make them happy. They will always find something wrong. Genuinely. And nearly every single girl that went on that show afterwards has an apology on Twitter.
Yeah.
Even like this girl that seems really, really sweet, somebody went through and found out that she liked an artist that also happens to draw like schlatt porn or something, and people were ripping her a new one. They're like, you're the problem, like it's like Schlatt hates when people like make porn, and she's like, I just followed the artist. I didn't know that that's like the other stuff they did. I just saw art one time and I liked it, and she apologized. And even though she apologized, all these people, and I saw it from other Minecrafters too, that were adding fuel to the fire. Like I saw it's not worth me saying names because it'll put me in a spotlight I don't want to be in, but I saw Minecrafters talking about this girl, and then when they heard about the you know, her getting canceled, they're like, ooh, never mind, like, swag moves away.
Right.
No, you're just encouraging the kids to do the same. She apologized. She said she didn't know. You have to freaking believe people because you don't know them. You don't know these people, everybody. You don't know them. So if she hasn't done something, like, so wrong, like, if you found out she murdered a child, yeah, let's, you know, that's when we should be like, swerve. Yeah, let's swerve there.
Yeah.
Like, but if her explanation is, you know, she followed this account, she didn't mean to, blah, blah, she is sorry. Who are you to decide that you can't take that? Like, just take the apology and move on, because her existence literally doesn't affect you. That's what's crazy. That is what's insane when people decide to, like, virtue signal and hop on trains like that, is like, you could just not, and that person's existence will never affect you ever again, probably.
I don't think that the virtue signaling and cancel culture has anything to do with how it affects them, or like that they're worried that this person.
Why do they want to cancel people then?
Because,
sorry, Swift.
Hi, buddy.
There's a pillow on your face.
I think when somebody says something that's like on the line, you know, or something that's controversial, and you tell them like, hey, that's not cool, you put yourself on a pedestal, right? And you become the moral one, and they become the lesser, or they become the bad person. And then you get a bunch of praise, and then a bunch of people come up on this pedestal with you, and then you're all on this pedestal, and you're looking down at all these people who are like doing bad things, right? And then you just keep climbing up.
That sounds like Mormonism.
And then you just keep climbing up on higher and higher and higher pedestals until you're in this culture with all these people up here, and then someone says something that is nothing, and they're like, I can't believe you said that. Like, you just set women back 30 years.
Yeah, they just have to find something to be
right. But it's
mad
like
about.
the higher you get, like I think it's kind of an addicting thing, and I think it's just they want to be on the moral high ground always. And the easiest way to be on the moral high ground is to tell other people that they are not as good as you are, morally.
Swift, I'm sorry about that pillow. It is not as good as you are. You are a better pillow than that pillow.
Yeah, you're so good. You know what I mean?
No, that makes a lot of sense. But I do always find that a weird question because people get asked that a ton. Like, what do you think of stan culture? Nobody likes it. I promise. It's not a healthy thing that's been created over the last few years.
Yeah.
It's actually terrifying and has many people have quit streaming because of it. Like,
Yeah.
people, the pressure of it even, has caused people to go down in hours and stuff like that. And it's made their jobs significantly less fun.
Right. Yeah. It is scary. Scary, for sure.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. My throat hurts.
I can't even hear it. You're fine.
Sorry. There's one person that asked like 20 questions and they're all kind of like yes or no questions.
Oh.
And so I'm skimming through those. Oh. This is interesting. From Bait Shop 5. Are you scared about the end of your online careers and what you'll do afterwards?
I hate that question.
When would you stop streaming? Would it be after your average viewers hit a certain number, when you're bored of it, when you hit a certain age, etc.? That's weird. I feel like people ask that for every streamer. They're like, when are you quitting? Like, what? I don't know.
Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what are you going to do after streaming?
Homie, I'll ask you the same question. Like, you're working as an accountant, and I say, hey, what are you going to do in 5 years? That's stressful. That's a hard question.
Well, it's a way harder question for us, because with them, it's like, I'll just jump to another firm if mine
I'll get
collapses.
promoted. I'll be
right.
this. I'll
like,
start my own.
With us, it's like, one of us could get perma'd, and then what?
That'd be awesome.
Or like one of us gets canceled and everybody hates us and we go down to like 300 viewers. Then what? Like, do you quit at that point?
What do you do?
My answer is yes for that.
What?
When you quit. If I got canceled, I mean, I don't know what a number threshold is, but if I got canceled,
what could you
for
even be
something,
canceled by?
Right. I don't.
That's
have
my
anything,
thing. Is
but,
I just don't think there's anything justifiably that could ever actually get me canceled.
I could not,
unless I killed a man.
I could not go through a cancellation, and stay online.
No.
I don't have the skin for it.
But luckily, all you have to do is like not hook up with minors.
Right.
It's like pretty easy.
Yeah.
Don't hook up with minors and don't be racist, forehead.
Right.
It's like, okay, you'll be fine.
But I don't know. For me, the value in streaming for me is making money and
What? You like making money?
The value for me in streaming is making money and teaching conservation on a massive scale to a demographic that doesn't usually get educated in conservation.
Yeah, if you didn't have Twitch, you'd be that person that shows up to the elementary school.
And I'd be doing 20 elementary school kids, like, programs at a time.
That'd be wicked.
That's what I did in college, and it was fine, but it's not nearly as effective as teaching on Twitch.
Yeah, also, like, kids don't remember that stuff.
Right.
Like, I remember animal conservationist came to my school. They had a tiger, and I walked away with it with, I want to get a tiger.
Oh, no. That's tough.
Yeah. So.
That is so tough. Yeah, but, I don't know. As long as it keeps Alveus alive, and as long as it keeps me afloat.
I don't know. I like to say, I think, like, the easiest answer for me is when the money doesn't make sense anymore. If I can't survive off of it, then that's when I quit. And luckily for me, I've had lots of normal jobs. I'm, not to toot my own horn, but I'm very qualified. I'd find another job in 2 seconds. I could go back to my old job. I could start my own. Like, I'm super not worried about that. I think it's, I'm still growing, and if I stop growing, if I stop feeling like I'm, if I stop making the money, if I stop whatever, then that's when I would quit. But even then, like, I don't think I've ever quit fully, because now I've made the Streamer Awards.
Yep.
That's what I've made. So no matter what, even if I quit streaming every single day, I would still do the Streamer Awards once a year, probably for the next 40 years at least.
4D?
I don't know. You think of like Jeff.
40?
Yeah, how old am I? Yeah, I'll do it when I'm 60. That'd be dope.
What?
I don't know. Think of like Jeff Keighley, who does the esports awards or Game Awards. You know what I'm saying? Like he's older.
I don't expect to be streaming
Once a year, and it's like, you know, a freaking $1 million or whatever.
In 20 years, I don't think I'll be streaming ever again. I don't
Not
think I'll be
even once a
live
year?
ever again.
Well, see you later.
I don't even know about 15.
You're not invited to Streamer Awards.
Okay. I'm not gonna know anybody.
I mean,
there
I'm
at that point
exaggerating
anyway.
a little bit. Like, obviously, I don't know if streaming will even. There's an ant on my leg. Become like, you know, I don't know what it'll be in 40 years, but I'm just saying. The cool thing is that I've created something that's now gonna be annual.
Right.
And so no matter what, even if I quit, get a normal J job, I can always come back and do that once a year because I created it. Or I'll sell it off to the next, you know, the next Pokemon.
Yep.
I'm not even the Pokemon yet. I want to be the next Pokemon, but then the next Pokemon. Like, you know, I could pass it off or sell it, or even just be a producer behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be totally fine. It's still my event, and I'm, you know, producing it, but I just have someone else be the host and the talent and whatever. That's totally an option. So I think I'll always be involved in that way. But it's also too crazy to think about. The only other reason that I'd quit besides money is my own mental health. I've said from the beginning of streaming, and it's really annoying when I bring this up because sometimes people will be like, Cutie, she's always complaining. This is not complaining. I'm being so genuine when I say I have like severe mental illness. I do not have the mental fortitude to be a streamer. I've known that from the very beginning. I have thick skin, I really do, but it just wears you down. It's like, you know, even rocks can get worn down with wind eventually. Like that's how, you know, sand rock formations are formed and blah, blah. It's just over years and years and years, little things. And then you know, changes the shape of everything. And so every single day to be, you know, bullied. Oh, woe is she, the millionaire getting bullied. By the way, not a millionaire. I hate when people say that.
Me too.
They're like, oh, the millionaire's complaining. I'm not a millionaire. I actually, like, you know, I do make more than the average person, but I barely make more than my last job. So it's like, relax. It's really hard. And I think there's been a few times in the past where I've had to take a week or two off stream because I hit my limit and I can't think straight. And I'm just so depressed, or I'm so just no longer functioning because my mental health couldn't handle it anymore. And it sucks because there's more good people than bad people.
Yep.
And that's what super sucks is I know there's more people that will people clap and smile when I show up than there are, you know, the people that will harass me. But unfortunately, every paper cut is one paper cut closer to, you know, killing you. You can't die from one paper cut, but you could die from a million. And so it's like, I think eventually if it ever gets too bad, where like, say I take a 2-week break or even a month break and I think I can't push that go live button, then that's when I would quit. Because I don't think it's worth losing my mental health all the way. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it totally makes sense. I have not had it that severe. There was a time, like with the breakup, I was like, do I mentally want to deal with this and deal with all the harassment that I'm gonna get for the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah.
Or do I want to just get offline and like go get a normal job?
Yeah.
And it wasn't really a choice for me because I have Alveus and because I have the opportunity to do that. Also, I've been thinking this whole time when I was like, what's important for streaming for me is, and I said money first, and I realized like the money is really important because it allows me to do what I do, but if I made like a normal salary off of streaming, 100% I would still be streaming. Like it's definitely not about the money. It is about the platform for conservation education. But yeah, no, I get that. I have never gotten close to that point where I was like, my mental's gonna stop me from
yeah, I think the hardest thing that a lot of people maybe have a hard time wrapping their heads around is I'm just a person who wants to be understood. I spent like a lot of years of my life, I'm dyslexic. I had to have like, I felt like the dumb one for a lot of my life. And then like, there's like Mormonism and weird things with my family and blah, blah, blah. And so I've never been able to fully build that self-worth that a lot of other people have. And so even though I have thick skin, it's just like, geez, it's just a lot. It just adds up in a way that a lot of people can't understand, which a normal job, I didn't have to do that. Even when I was working customer service, maybe you'd get a Karen every once in a while that like,
makes you cry. Like,
makes you cry. Literally,
yeah.
like there were customers that made me cry when I was working retail. But at the end of the day, they're mad at the policies. They're mad at whatever. They're not calling you ugly. They don't see that you gained 10 pounds. They're not, they're not doing those things that just like, I don't know. I like to be thoroughly understood. And I'm bad at that. And so when I see it's usually when I see opinions online of me that just don't represent who I am, drives me crazy because people just assume things. They don't actually listen. Like
the other side of that leaf though is like you said earlier in this podcast, like you don't know these people.
Exactly.
So like,
oh, I know.
Right.
Exactly. And so it's so frustrating because it's like, I just wish it, like, this is the perfect example. And we've actually talked about this on the podcast a few times, is people flame me for taking a Fansly sponsor because they're like, Cutie hates sex work. I've never said that. I genuinely love sex work. I think it's great. I just don't want to be a sex worker, and that's it. And so when people are like, it's so crazy that they would conflate that. Because I was like, 2 years ago or a year ago, I was like, the hot tub section should have its own section.
Oh, I guess we have different takes on that?
I feel like that's
a simple. Same.
I feel like saying that the hot tub section needed its own section is the same way if all of a sudden like everyone was painting and just chatting, then it's like, we should probably make a painting section. Like
I think it's a much more complex problem than that, but I understand what you're saying.
I mean, that's all, but like that was my biggest point on it, was that, hot tub section should have its own section. And then that got turned into people saying like I was anti-feminist, or that I'm too feminist, or that I'm always calling people out on sexism. And it's like, if I don't call people out on sexism when it does happen, what's the point? And then when I do call it out, I'm also whiny. And so it's just like, oh my goodness, like you can never get these people to understand you, because they shouldn't. But it's really frustrating when it's like, again, I want to be understood so badly. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's the harder part, even more than the, hey, you look ugly today. Mm-hmm. It is like the people that write manifestos about
your character.
About your character, and you're like, homie, number one, you have no clue who Blair is. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, you can think that about Cutie Cinderella, but holy shit, you don't know Blair. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
On one hand, like I was saying, the leaf thing, on one hand, it's easy to say, like, these people are all parasocial, they think they know these creators, they don't, whatever, but then it's really, really hard to separate when you read someone say something about you. It's like, it's really hard to remember that for yourself, and be like, oh, they don't know me. It just feels like I don't know. It's a very human thing. I think it just feels like an attack always.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, I've struggled with that. I mean, my only successful approach to that problem, because I have yet to figure out how to separate and how to desensitize and how to not be bothered by manifestos and things like that, is I don't read them.
Yeah.
I don't read comments. I don't read YouTube comments. I don't read Instagram comments. I don't read Twitter comments. I do not read them.
This is an interesting question. How do you decide which parts of your life to share on the podcast with the increase of online parasocial relationships?
I mean, there's so many things, right? Like,
yeah.
I think most of what we decide not to share on the podcast is because of other people, or because we don't want drama.
Yeah.
Like, we're like,
drama's a big one.
Yeah, because we're like, we can't say
There's
this
so
because
much.
then we have drama, or we can't say this because then IRL people are going to get upset at us for talking about it.
If our last podcast ever, we decide to quit streaming and we go out with a freaking bang, we go live on this podcast, we tell you all. We tell you all the things.
It's on the Patreon.
It's on the Patreon, though, actually.
Top tier Patreon. You won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
No.
There's so much shit we can't talk about.
I think that's our biggest, how we decide. Other things?
Also, I feel like we're both aware. Like, we actually never talk and be like, by the way, I know I just, like, talk shit on Hassan, but, like, don't bring it up on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah,
we're both just aware.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been anything. Has there ever been anything that we've brought up that, like, we've afterwards...
That the other person was like, oof.
Yeah, usually it's the person who brings it up is the one that backpedals.
Yeah, I don't
like, there's been one time that I brought something up and then couldn't stop thinking about it for the rest of the night, and I was like, I shouldn't have said that.
Right.
But you've never brought something up that, like, made me uncomfortable and vice versa.
No.
Same brain. Answer again.
I think as for, like, personal life stuff, I don't really give a shit at this point. Like, all of my college stories, high school stories, boyfriend stories, obviously fair game. My current dating life, I will talk all day about the failures because I think they're funny and I have no stake in those people anymore. And I'm like, whatever, you know? I will not talk about what is successful in my romantic life or in my love life right now, unless I have something that I feel is really stable and I'm really committed to and I'm, like, ready to be like, yes, I have a boyfriend now. But it's going to be not a secret, but it's going to be extremely private and I won't talk about it very much because I will not have a public relationship again. I will not date a streamer again, and you guys will not see us fighting on stream. You won't see us happy on stream or going on dates on stream or any of that. Never again.
What a healthy thing.
So, yeah, so I'm happy to talk about the funny stuff and, you know, and the bad dates, but if there's something in my life that's going really well, it won't be a secret if I'm confident about where it's at, but I won't talk about it very much just because I don't want to add that layer to my next relationship.
Sorry, I see a fire truck driving in the distance. Spooky. Someone's house on fire. Yeah, I think it's funny because sometimes people, I've seen the comment once or twice where they're like, Cutie only talks about her ex-boyfriends. Oh, yeah. She's so in love with them still.
We talk about them all the time.
And it's like, homie, I'm not going to give you deets on my current relationship. Why would I do that? I'm dating one of the largest streamers out there, and then you guys get all parasocial. Dude, the worst thing in the world was when I made a joke on Austin's show, Name Your Price, about getting my pussy licked. It was such a joke. There was this cat toy, or this thing that you put on your tongue that you were supposed to, like, lick your cats with. And then Austin said something like, Lud, wouldn't you like to do this? And I was like, I would love if Lud would lick the pussy or whatever, you know? Like, you know, and then that was the joke. And it was such a joke. Like, holy shit. And the amount of cringe lords that was like, oh, you deserve better. You deserve a man that will da-da-da, you know? And, like, we're even in Lud's chat and they're like, you should really, like, take care of your girlfriend in that way. Like, holy shit. It was just a joke.
Yeah.
But what is going on? Why are you guys like this? That's why I don't actually tell stories about my current relationship. And I'll tell you what, I have told stories about my current relationship, and I've just said, so my ex-boyfriend one time, because you guys don't deserve to know anything about what's, you know, happening right now. Like,
yeah. I never want that layer again.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's not a fun one.
No.
Because then not only are you in a relationships where, like, you take sides or, you know, you call your family and they have your support, all of a sudden you have a massive audience taking sides and telling you.
Taking sides and analyzing and having an opinion and thinking blah, blah, blah. And being invested in it and feeling like you're disappointing them.
It was really awkward, though, when you guys did break up and the whole thing came out that he was actually in love with Slick the whole time. That was really freaking awkward.
I knew it it's actually crazy that I've not said anything for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit was weird.
All the speculations were true. I'd like to make it very clear. He was in love with Slick the entire time. They're doing great, though.
I also, I thought after that relationship, I was like, I thought that I had to date a streamer. I was like, nobody else is going to understand my life and what I do and what I get upset about and the drama and the threads and what, you know. I thought I would have to date a streamer. And through dating other people that are not streamers, total normies, I've realized that it is so much healthier for me to not date a streamer because it's super grounding, you know? Like, they take you out of it. It's...
What a novel idea.
I can be dating someone that doesn't get it, I can call Cutie and be like, there's this hate thread and it's really pissing me off and this person said this and this person said this and this streamer did this and that's why it's a hate thread and blah, blah, blah. And she'll get it and we'll go back with whatever. But then I can go home at the end of the day to somebody that's just like, let's just watch a movie, you know, or like there's more.
That's so
like,
great.
There's more to the world, you know, like let's get you out of this bubble and into the actual internet. World, where it really doesn't matter and it's all online, you know. So I found that that's super, super healthy for me, and that's my move. That's my next.
It's actually
move.
So dope, because admittedly, like, I'll have times with like me and Ludwig after I say, oh, I'm not gonna talk about me,
right.
But it still happens. You know, I talk about it sometimes. Ludwig and I will only talk about work.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, it's been 3 days and we haven't even, like, talked about anything besides streaming. And it's like, whoa, that sucks. Mm-hmm. That's no good. Yeah. It's almost a detriment to be in the same field, because then I know a lot of streamer relationships that crashed because of the competitiveness of streaming. And it's like, lucky for us, we're not competitive in that way. But, geez Louise, is it consuming? Mm-hmm. What time are we at?
Very good. Curious. We have 19 minutes left on an hour 30. Oh. We could be done whenever.
We could end. Yeah, I just wanted to know what a normal felt like. I feel like we're, like, pretty good.
Yeah, this felt good.
An hour 10.
You know what's chill about, I feel like watching this back, it's so much lower energy than a live stream, but I think it's a good thing. It's like, it's a very different vibe.
And we'll have a mix.
It'll be a mix.
It'll be interesting to see how these
if we were live
shake out. Baby.
I feel like when we're live, I'm just way more like
on edge,
ready. Yeah. And here, like we're talking like we're offline.
Weird.
Kind of sick. This was not hard at all. I thought it would be like cringe.
It's not hard.
It just felt like a podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
It's a podcast. Okay, can we name it?
What would you like to name it? So we've got Wine About It, which is the live one. We got Wine About After Dark, which is the one we recorded without the live chat. We've got Guest Show, which is what that one's called. Yeah. And this one is called, I don't know. They're all Wine About It.
Wine About It. I don't know.
We don't know. It's a work in progress. This whole podcast is a work in progress. Yeah. A lot of, like, you know, I watched the Yard Boys and they decided we're starting the yard, and they just jumped right into it with a perfect set and a perfect setup, and they feels like they knew exactly what they were doing. They started their Patreon and blah blah, and it was all very intimidating. But this works for us. We're finding our legs around along the way.
Yeah, I think we're doing fine. I'm not worried about it.
I'm stressed.
You don't need to be stressed at all.
I'm just kidding. I'm not stressed. I'll be fine. But the cool thing about Wine About It, not After Dark, this Wine About It, is we wear sweats.
Oh, true. That's huge.
We're wearing sweats right now.
Comfy clothes, people comfy, not the dresses.
I think all the other ones will be dresses, besides Omegle is sweats.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm not putting on a dress for Omegle.
Yeah,
that is cringe.
Omegle is sweats, but everything else is always going to be dresses.
Except for Dine About It.
Except for Dine About It.
But I'm going to be honest, today, Dine About It, we walked in that In-N-Out looking like street hookers. Because it was what we wore to the photo shoot, and it was like 80s themed. I felt crazy.
I think the photo shoot turned out well. I think my period is going to start soon. Because I know you really hate when I talk about this, but I weighed myself today. I'm back up to freaking 160. I go all the way down to 150. And that's where, like, I've been.
What is it? Why is your period? Do you eat more? Because you're, like, bloated?
I, like, retain water.
Oh.
Like, I feel, like, thick.
Oh.
My weight loss journey has been insanely frustrating. Yeah. But we'll get there. I also shouldn't even be talking because I had In-N-Out burger today.
We did eat In-N-Out today.
And I had half a vanilla shake. So, you know, we'll get there. But yeah, thanks for watching. And thank you for supporting the podcast as it evolves into hopefully something better. Genuinely. Yeah. I think you guys are going to get more actual podcast content. I hope. And we'll see how this goes. And it's a guessing game.
Yeah. It really is all just a big experiment. And the beautiful thing is that if it doesn't work this way, then we'll just
go back to what we were doing.
We'll go back to doing it, you know, how we were before, and Wine About It just becomes like a fun thing that we do. But we still, I mean, Wine About It for us has become a lot more than just the podcast too, though. We do have like a pretty pretty solid business partnership going, and there's plenty for us to do. You know, so I'm not stressed. It's
Podcasts, they don't have like if you want to build a table, you like buy a pattern and you build a table. Building a podcast turns out a little harder than that. I'll tell you what.
It's way too close to your mouth.
I know I was itching my nose though. Sorry guys. Yeah, it's a little harder than that, especially as women.
Yeah.
Give us some credit. It's hard. 90% of our audience is male. Shout out to those males. It's
not a make or break thing. We'll see how it goes, but I'm hoping that it's better content. We're gonna try really hard. Like, we have a lot of ideas. We're kind of, it's not a full rebrand, but it kind of is.
Plus, I have 2 cats now.
Yeah.
And I still have a dog.
Okay.
So that's a dog and 2 cats.
All right.
And 1 podcast. So.
Yeah.
You guys get me.
Anyway, thanks for watching the first Wine About It
Thanks
Q&A.
for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And next month,
there will be a guest. This month there was no guest because Cutie's sick.
I'm sick. Sorry. Well, I was thinking I was gonna say next. Leave your questions in the comments, and we'll read those ones for next month. But it might be a different theme for next month.
Yeah.
Because we might do. We might be crazy sometimes. We might ask for like, what's a question you've always wanted to ask a girl, or penis. That'll be the topic. We'll just tweet out penis. We rate penises. You submit your penis. Tier 3s on the Patreon only, of course. Cost $4,000.
Whoa.
Per picture. And then we rate them.
That would be crazy.
We would definitely never do that.
Speaking of, we're gonna go record an Omegle video right now.
Where we will probably see some penises.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked it. Let us know in the comments. I know that's like a cringe, like let us not, but like. We're learning, and we need. You guys are our market feedback. Researchers. We need feedback. This is for all we know, this could get 1,000 views, because it's on in the new channel, and that will feel weird. Well, but we gotta start somewhere. Thanks for being here. If you're one of the thousands. You do. See you later. Bye.